I'm back with another album review. Today's review is on Sundowning by Sleep Token. This is the band's debut album, and their first album released on Spinefarm Records. It was produced and engineered by George Lever, who also played bass in the studio. George has also worked with Bullet My Valentine as a producer, which I think is pretty cool. Vessel is on vocals, guitar, keyboards, and piano in the studio, while Tu was on drums, as is the case with the band's other work. The album was released on November 21st, 2019 on Spinefarm Records. Before this, these guys released a couple of non-album singles in 2018. One of them was The Way That You Were, and the other is Jaws, which is a cover of the song Hey Yeah by Outkast. I mentioned in the previous review that Sleep Token signed a deal with Spinefarm in June of 2019. Now let's talk about the songs. The album starts with The Night Does Not Belong to God. I'd say this is a great way to start the album. The next track is The Offering. I need to mention that this album contains some elements of post-metal, which is something that Deftones did when making Koi no Yokan. After that is Levitate. There's also a song by Jinx that's also called Levitate, but it has nothing to do with this song. Next up is Dark Signs. I feel like I can't talk about Sleep Token without at least mentioning Deftones. Up next is Higher. This track still continues much of the band's signature progressive metal sound. We followed up with Take Aim. Of course, this album is from before the band became huge. They were pretty popular when this album came out, but 2023 I felt was the year they became huge. More on that in a future video. That's followed up by Give. Now, this band does have all the songs from this album on their YouTube channel, just so you know. Right after that is Gods. I read that Metal Hammer said that this song and The Offering are the best songs by Sleep Token. The track after that is Sugar. This is not a cover of the song by System of a Down, just so we're clear. The following track is Say What You Will. I should also mention that this album has some elements of post-rock as well. The second to last track is Drag Me Under. I don't understand why some people hate this band. Maybe those dumbasses never actually heard any of their music. This album ends with Bloodsport. I say this is a good way to end the album. On June 20th, 2020, these guys released a deluxe version of the album containing 4 bonus tracks. The first one is a different version of Bloodsport, and the second is Shelter. The third one is a cover of the song When the Party's Over by Billie Eilish. And the fourth is a cover of the song I Want to Dance with Somebody by Whitney Houston. The biggest problem with the deluxe version is that it's digital only. As much as I like Sleep Token, even I have to admit that's a dick move. When researching this album, I read that it was number 23 on the UK rock and metal albums, 39 on the UK album sales, 98 on the UK album downloads, and 53 in Scotland. The critics really liked this album since Distorted Sound gave it a perfect score, and Kerrang gave it a 4 out of 5. Now for my thoughts. I really like this album. Hell, I'd say that's some of the best material from these guys. I know I compare these guys to Deftones, but I feel like Sleep Token probably wouldn't exist without Deftones. I still think that the deluxe version should have gotten a physical release. Fortunately, you can always find it on YouTube. Overall, I highly recommend this album. Now is the part where I question you. Have you listened to Sundowning? If so, what do you think about it? What's your favorite song from it? Have you noticed any similarities between Deftones and Sleep Token? Let me know in the comments. If you like the video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Be sure to press the notification bell to notify of future videos. Thanks for watching. Now back soon with another review.